Alright, since most everybody's already seen the new Citadel Finecast, I know I'm kind of late to the party on this one. You can think of this more as a review of the new Black Templar Sword Brethren in resin. So, yeah. The box still comes with the same 5 guys. Of course, we have the sprues, as everybody's used to by now, that these come on. I actually do really like this resin. It's really clean. There's some flashing, especially if you look in the places like here around the Templar symbol. There's a lot of flashing that you have to remove. It'll only take a second though. But one thing I wanted to mention is these on their shoulders. It's really crisp. There's a little bit of a mold line there that just takes a second to get off. But they look really nice. I like the resin so far. So that's that one. Now I did run into a couple problems, just like with everything else. Another resin Sword Brethren model. Now the problem I ran into with this guy is right here in the beard. If you can see it right there, there's a piece of resin that it completely just destroyed his face. You can't even see his chin, so I'm going to try and see if I can't cut that off somehow to save the model. If not, I'll call GW and see if they'll do anything about it. So there's that one. Not the most dynamic of them, but still a really good model nonetheless. This is the only real flashing on the shield. I just like how clean it is. With a lot of the pewter stuff, I don't know what it was that they did that made it so that it pulled away from the mold. You'd get a lot of rounded corners that shouldn't have been rounded. This guy is actually one of my favorite models that GW makes. The GW makes, he's one of the favorite, not including Forge World. Bent. You have a bowl of water, put it in the microwave for 3 minutes, and that will a little bit, and then fix it, and then put it in the tap water, the cold water, and it'll be fine. The only problem I had with this sword is, I don't know if you can see it, you can barely see it on the camera, but if you look right there, you see how the line doesn't follow. The resin didn't fill all the way right there, and also right there, which isn't a big deal. This sword is really small anyway. I was going to get a regular power sword and attach there anyway. But that is one thing I'm going to see what I can do about. So, but again, amazing detail. They look fantastic. I just love these models, especially this shield on their arms. And the best one out of the kit, the Lightning Claw. This guy's, he looks amazing. Even on the chains, you can see where it goes underneath, so it's actually rounded. I thought the chains would just be flat down to the armor. The Lightning Claw itself cast very well. I really thought that they were going to be broken, or I'd have some problems with those. And that one, of course, cast perfect because it's sitting against a cape, so it's hard not to cast perfect. They look amazing. I really love these models. So, alright, I'm going to assemble them, and I'll see you after the jump. Alright, so welcome back. This is second part of the review. I've cleaned them up. There was a lot more of little, just tiny things that I missed when I first went across it. Still really great models. The cleanup is extremely easy. They're so thin you can just peel it all right off almost. Fixing any damage that's done is really easy to do. There's the other one. It's very simple, straightforward. I was able to manage to try and cut that piece out when I paint it. Hopefully that'll help. I didn't put the backpacks on because I don't play like Templars, so these are actually going to be Vanguard vets. Now, resin, I don't know why, but this is extremely light, even lighter than the plastics. So the claw actually snapped. You can probably see the glue reflection there when I dropped him. So luckily though, not something you'd be able to do with the metal models anyway. I'm extremely impressed with the resin, even though there have been some problems. I was able to fix everything, which there's always problems, and with metal models you can't fix everything, especially mold lines on the heads, things like that. So, this guy was fun. So I just completely cut off that sword, gave him one of the Blood Angels, two-handed relic swords, and a storm shield. Fortunately, I couldn't find one that didn't have that dimple in it right there. So, but I think that counts as a big enough sword. Again, they're Vanguard vets, so I can give them a storm shield if I want. Clean the mold lines on the head, everything else. So, I think. Also, by the way, in case you're looking at the bases, these are from Secret Weapon Miniatures. I like them. They're really nice. You can't really see all the details in them because they're just gray. I haven't painted them up. But with a lot of these guys, the only real trick is if you see a mold line on them, you just gotta follow it all the way down and across, and just follow the mold line down and fix anything that you see along the way. The only problem I have with them is right there in the crack between the armor plate and the cape. Let me find one that's got that. Sometimes you get a little bit of that in there where you see it's not exactly clean. I ran into some parts where some of the mold actually had come off and was stuck to the model. That's, I think, what happened with his mustache in there. Is a piece of the mold on a model before him came off with the model, and so the resin filled it in afterwards. I also, when I pulled him apart, I didn't mention it before, but right there in his armor, there was a piece of mold rubber. You can actually still see a little bit of it, that green right there. That's the mold rubber. I got to get the rest of that out. You'll see a little bit of that and a little bit of pink as well. I don't know what they're using, but it's really causing some problems with some of the stuff. But even so, I'm glad that they're switching to resin. The problems aren't any worse than you would get with the metal models. As far as, the price increase, I think it's just GW being GW. Price of gas has gone up a lot, so I'm not going to complain. So yeah, these are really some amazing models. I love them. I think they turned out really well. And later on, it's going to take me a very long time to paint these guys, because I have a whole guard army I'm going to do before them. So, anyway, hope that was useful to you guys. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you next time.